You may have noticed that some of y'all's 401ks are 372ks today. Right, and that, of course, because we're in the midst of the first 24 hours of Trump's so-called Liberation Day tariffs. And as expected, we've seen a lot of reactions from people, institutions, companies, and the markets themselves. So to fully understand and appreciate the situation, all get on the same page, we actually have to back up a bit. Because leading into yesterday, there was a bit of speculation about what the tariffs would actually look like. And in the end, it was actually a mix of the two top theories. There was a baseline 10% number across the board, followed by a so-called reciprocal tariff that can increase that number. And those so-called reciprocal tariffs, they allegedly do not just take into account the tariffs that other countries place on American goods, but also what were referred to as currency manipulation and trade barriers. So take China, for example. The Trump administration claims that when accounting for everything, they tax their citizens 67% extra to buy American goods. And so in return, you have Trump saying we're going to charge Americans a 34% tax to import Chinese goods. Vietnam is then a similar story where you have Trump saying that they make American goods 90% more expensive, so we're gonna make their stuff 46% more expensive. And so with that, right off the bat, there was a lot of confusion on how the administration even came up with these numbers. Or with the White House's official Twitter post even getting a community note on it, which read, Trump's, quote, reciprocal tariffs aren't based on actual foreign tariffs, but likely on the US trade deficit divided by imports. See WTO data. Now those numbers, they don't completely add up, but they were very close, leading to speculation that the formula was actually something else, and officially it is. And we know this because yesterday evening, the Office of the United States Trade Representative released this formula with an explanation. Though as it turns out, it just looks more complicated than it actually is, and the big thing is that it is essentially dividing the trade deficits by the imports. Right, so the chi symbol literally just means our total exports to a country, the mu is our total imports, and then on the bottom you have epsilon and phi, which respectively represent the price elasticity of import demand and the elasticity of import prices with respect to tariffs. And it appears they actually set those numbers to 4 and 0.25, which is notable because what is 4 times 1/4? 1, which would make this formula literally just trade deficit versus total imports with more steps, as many have pointed out. But follow to stay in the loop.